Wagwan. How are we all doing? Welcome in, everyone. Oofy, Blaze, Walrus, Adam. Welcome in. Stevie boy. Good to have you all along. We'll wait for a few people to get in. I've just posted out the links. And then we'll get stuck in. Today we're going to go through... Well, I'll quickly scan through the trailer first. And then we'll go through the deep dive. Because there's a lot more information on that. And I don't think many people have checked the pitch notes. Because the trailer wasn't very good at all. So it's going to start off a bit negative. And a little bit more positive in the deep dive. So let's see. Ray, hello. Wasn't expecting them. Going from the gameplay they showed, it looks like the game is less fast-paced. Yes, that's something I've noticed actually, Blaze. It's good, good point, and I think that's I'm a big fan of that. I think the game does need to slow down. I know I've seen some people complain about it, but I think they might be Ultimate Team players. And they say we'll change it in the first week because the Ultimate Team rats will cry about the gameplay. Well, that's a problem. That is definitely the problem. So we shall see. Right. How's everyone doing? First off, let me know. And then, yeah, we'll start off with the trailer. Tackles look fixed, but other than that, yikes. Hi, mate. Joe, welcome in. Good to have you along, sir. Yeah, with the tackling, well, you know, we'll get onto it. We'll get onto it, guys. First things first, I am going to put out a vote. Say, how optimistic are you after today's deep dive? And we shall put very slightly unsure, not at all. So yeah, let me know. Let me know in the poll. I've got to sort out this second monitor. Right. So the chat tackles will be brutal in pro clubs. Kal-El G, I hope I pronounced that right. Welcome along, my friend. Good to have you in. Did you see Bayern Munich win 27-0 in pre-season? No, I didn't see that. No. So yeah. Let's get into it then. We'll start off with this trailer before we come on to the pitch notes. So I came away having watched a trailer thinking like pretty annoyed, to be honest. And then I've read the pitch notes after and was a little bit more positive. So we'll sprinkle in a bit of both in this. Starting off with a trailer, I don't want to cover too much time on this really because, you know, it was basically them just frothing over each other. And this. If I see or hear people from EA ejaculating over this Haaland shot one more time, I'm going to flip out because it is starting to really get on my tits now. I'm serious. Why have we spent so much time focusing on this animation in the game? Why? I'm telling you, this is a freak goal. You don't see this ever. If a cross comes in, and my player, rather than throwing his head at it, decides to stick his boot up 7-8 foot in the air, I'd be going mad. One, that's a high foot, and usually you get penalised for it. And two, you get far less control. You just don't see it. So, it's just really annoying me how they're just focusing on this so much. Please, please, move on. Because even this gameplay deep dive, look how long we spent talking about it, focusing on it, rather than the things that matter. So yeah, there you go. Shane, welcome in, my friend. Yeah, I mean, yeah, like everyone, like, yeah, we get it. He's a cover star. Haaland's a cover star. Great. I don't need in the gameplay deep dive so much talk about this. I really don't. So yeah, that was one thing that annoyed me. I just want them to move on, really. The thing about the gameplay trailer as well was, and I even tweeted about it somewhere. It'll be like tweets and replies, I think it will be. I said I'm not interested in Haaland's animation. How about defending, AI, crossing, skating us? Like, these are the in my opinion, the main issues with this gameplay. And they just didn't mention that at all. Like, they spoke about Hypermotion V. Obviously, that's a huge thing. I expect them to talk about that and how it's changed. But it feels like a whole lot of the same. I'll be honest with you, this Hypermotion V. Like, they're showing these two side by side, and I'm not seeing a whole lot of difference. I'll be honest. He's a little bit wider in his stride. His arms come out a bit more. It was just really weird. Really, really weird. What did you guys think? I like how they added more pen run-ups. Yeah, that's a good one. We'll come on to that with the animations very shortly, Blaze. Yeah, definitely. That's the thing that Hypermotion is supposed to do. It's supposed to give you more authentic kind of running, kicking styles, all that stuff. Which we do see, but as they were kind of going through that, I was kind of thinking, you're showing a very small selection of teams here. You know, we've got a lot of Man City, Liverpool, a lot of Real Madrid, Chelsea and stuff. What about when you go beyond those few elite teams? You go, you know, Championship and Serie B and Liga 2 and all those leagues. And all the other leagues, you know, Belgian Pro League, all these sort of leagues that aren't like the top elite. Do those players have unique running, unique passing styles and all that stuff? I bet you they don't. So I was kind of thinking, you're focusing on a very small elite thing here. So yeah, but that's what Hypermotion is obviously there to do. And they kind of went through all this. We really got this last year, the kind of lengthy, controlled, explosive strides. They've bigged it up a little bit more now, but yeah, it's... I don't see a whole lot of difference. I don't think it's worth focusing such a lengthy portion of the trailer. Like, the Hypermotion part of the trailer goes for 3 minutes, and it's only a 7.5 minute long trailer. So I don't think the running and that sort of thing is really worth focusing on that much, to be honest. Also with the women clip, look at how easy it is to get in behind and then a sudden burst of pace. Yeah, whereabouts was that? Because I remember looking at that. It's this one, isn't it? But I was wondering when I saw that. I hope I don't get done for copyright here. So here we go. I'm wondering if they've set that up so like someone's gone, put the second controller on, make sure their side are like standing there, and then they've turned it off, and that's when they've started the recording, which is why it's like that, because that just looks so bad, so bad. So yeah. I promise it won't be completely maybe negative here. There are some positives when we come on to the pitch notes. But yeah, like I say, the trailer itself is just a whole lot of fluff, really. The player styles is an interesting one. I like this addition. I know you can. They talks about how you can customize it in all the different game modes and stuff. Good for pro clubs, ultimate team, career mode, etc. They're basically going to enable different kind of unique styles to players, so that's absolutely fine. But again, this sort of thing, like, it's good. Like, I want that, more uniqueness, more characteristics for players. Absolutely. It's just not it wouldn't have been top. It would have been in my top 30 requests for gameplay features, really. You know, like I've already said, God, this song isn't very good on these changes. And like I say, so it wouldn't have been in my top 30 requests for gameplay features. And I'm kind of thinking, what this is your main feature for the gameplay trailer? You know, defending, AI, etc., as I've already spoken about. God, this song isn't very good either. Jesus. I think we need to go on to lo-fi for a moment here. What have we got? There we go. Let's get this on. So, yeah, so you've got the play styles. That's very good. What are you guys saying in the chat? Shane says, they haven't shown the UEFA Youth League in any of the trailers yet, and on their website shows up one of their sponsors. When will they talk about it? That's very interesting. I've not actually noticed that, the UEFA Youth League. I mean, the only way you're really getting that in is if, like, you've got it in tournaments. But you have to have the under-21 teams, or the under-18s, or under-20s. which they don't have. So yeah, maybe that's just a licensing fluff, really. Declan, I'm still hoping that we get different commentators. Having someone like Ali McCoy would be great. So, and I can't play it because I'm worried about copyright. There was a bit in the trailer, I don't know if any of you guys noticed it, watch it back if not, where one of the BBC commentators was in there commentating. I can't remember who he is. He might be like Guy Mowbray or something like that. I don't know if any of you noticed it. It probably would have been in this playstyle section, but I definitely picked up on that because at first people in the live chat were saying, "Oh, Derek Ray," and then he came on after. So I don't know if anyone else noticed that. I'm not being funny, but not one single person wanted an even more overpowered finesse shot or Trivella. They are so out of touch. Yeah, this is the kind of type of thing I'm getting at Adam, really, where basically a lot of this stuff we've not asked for. Like the playstyles is good, but I didn't see anyone asking for it. So yeah, really, that's the main priority. Then they talk about Frostbite at the end. I'm really starting to have enough of Frostbite. I'll be honest with you. I mean, it's on the planner up there. I plan on doing a video in the next couple of weeks about why Frostbite killed FIFA, really. You know, having obviously gone black and played FIFA 14, got another video coming out on that tomorrow, by the way, FIFA 14 gameplay, which was on the Ignite engine. Spoke about how it's just totally different. It just makes you realise Frostbite was designed for first-person shooter games, like Battlefield, for instance. So, you know, how that translates to a football game, one of them, really. Just add Peter Drury, yes. Now that he's on Sky as well, please. Like saying that, I'll mention it in this video that's coming out tomorrow. Like with the presentation team, when it was Martin Tyler and Alan Smith, so much better. Like these guys, I don't even have commentary turned on anymore. I don't. I couldn't tell you any lines this year. As soon as I came onto FIFA 23, the first thing I did was turn commentary off. So there is that. Right, so yeah, the trailer all in all, whole lot of fluff, as I say, whole lot of nothing. The better part of it was these pitch notes, because we get a lot of stuff in here. So let's go through Hypermotion V. I feel like we've covered most of this. Two-way out hands, all that stuff. We've gone through that. Play styles, we've done this. But let's have a quick look at all the play styles that I think they show here. So for scoring, shooting, power shot, dead ball, chip shot, finesse shot, power header. Adam says, has this replaced traits? I believe, I'd have thought so. But then there are some traits that wouldn't be on play styles, such as like injury prone, for instance, or leadership. So it's good. It's a good question. Turn on Saudi. I can't say that. I cannot say that. Passing, we got pinged pass, incisive pass, long ball pass, many passes, whipped pass, tiki taka, whatever that is. Ball control, first touch flair, press proven. What's press proven? A player who's known for keeping the ball possession under physical pressure from the opponent, keeps close control of the ball while dribbling. Oh, right, okay. Technical, trickster, rapid, and then defending, we've got bruiser, block, intercept, slide tackle, anticipate, jockey. In physical, we've got aerial, trivella, acrobatic, relentless, quick step, long throw, and then goalkeeper, footwork, cross claimer, far throw, rush out, far reach, quick reflexes. So there you go. Right, so we've done that. Right, now attacking. See, they cover a whole lot more stuff here, which is much better than this kind of fluffy trailer. Hostrag, welcome in, by the way, mate. Have they changed the running animation because it feels so bad every player run the same? Well, this is the whole point, what they're trying to get at with this Hypermotion V. They're trying to say basically that a lot of players are going to have unique run styles. But like I say, we'll see. Because outside the elite players, we don't know. They've added a couple of different passes that I wanted to speak about. Headers on demand, which we'll talk about in the shooting section. You can now hold L2 and R2, and if you want your player to head it rather than kind of passing it with his feet, you can do that. Has to be over 3 foot from the ground. You can add kind of swerve passes, which is L2 and X or LT and A, depending on your console. Swerve on demand Basically, looks like it's replacing the outside of the foot shot, because obviously that's what you use for outside of the foot shot. What else is there? Stuff about the dribbling. There were some things that I kind of wanted to mention. Let's have a look here. Yeah, so headers on demand. This is huge because this is a really good change, because how many times have you put a cross into the box and you want your player to head it, but instead he lets it fall when he volleys it and it goes wrong? Really annoys me because that happens a load. Now, if the ball is above 3 foot, then you can obviously hold LT and RT and press B and they'll head it instead, which is really, really good. So I really like that change. Will the team tactics continue? Please say yes. Well, I don't know if they've got any. They haven't mentioned many tactics changes in this, although they have mentioned a couple, which we'll speak about a little bit later on. But yeah, I don't presume they'll make any changes to that. In terms of like taking it away, that'd be silly. Pete says it's Guy Mowbray. However, apparently the new commentary team, Guy Mowbray being a woman commentator, isn't available in career mode. Of course not. Of course not. But yeah, I thought it was. I definitely recognised him. Thanks for that, Peter. Not available in. So I'm guessing that's Ultimate Team that they're in. Right. So this sort of stuff. Hold on. Let's see. Skill moves. I literally just flicked past this. Won't be honest. Attacking positioning. So apparently players will now attempt to make more decisive diagonal runs to cut through gaps in the defensive line. You can of course control that with the kind of right analog stick when you do a give and go pass, but now they will hopefully do it automatically when you're not controlling them. So we'll see how this works. Again, like we'll go through these first. Players may position themselves higher inside the box while attempting to find a passing lane to empty space. Good. And dynamic defensive line. This bit got me. It talks about how the defence will alter their positioning, and in particular you got this line where it says if both wing backs push up to attacking positions and a defensive midfielder is on drop between the defenders, then the two centre backs will increase their width and allow the end to drop between them to players about 3. We already have that. That's already in the game. Literally, if you pick drop between defenders and you have your fullbacks on overlap, that's already in there. That's what happens. So I don't understand why they've put that in as a new feature. If one wing back has pushed up to an attacking position, the rest of the defensive line will shift to cover and play in the shape of a free back, which they kind of already do. I'm hoping this means that they'll shift more centrally, helps with an inverted fullback. But yeah, that bit got me. And so. Obviously, I'm not hopeful for career mode. They couldn't even add real fixtures into last year's game. Yeah, Connor says player traits used to be from PES. The same concept of enhancing skills and unlocking skills. Now EA is advertising that as a brand new feature. Yeah, definitely that sort of thing where obviously you can set the kind of player skills in training on Master League and stuff to add to that and stuff. Yeah, basically. Yeah. I want to see drop beside defenders in a double pivot. Yeah, that's another thing. If you've got 2 defensive midfielders, you couldn't have drop between the defenders. So, yeah, there you go. What I was going to say is this thing with like diagonal runs and stuff, find space in the box. This is good, but it's all talk. Like until we see that in action, it could just not work. Like how many times have they announced a gameplay feature, and you're like, oh yeah, great, really excited for that, and it just doesn't work. So. Yeah, it'd be nice if we had some video footage, some evidence. But no, there you go. Now defending, obviously I'm very, very vocal about how bad the defending is in FIFA, and the fact that there wasn't much coverage of it in the trailer it's really annoyed me. But there was a little bit more covering in this, but it left me more questions than answers, to be honest. You've got this new kind of advanced defending, which talks about kind of sealing players out, shoulder barges, that sort of stuff. Again, we don't see that in action, no video footage. More defensive improvements, again talking about seal outs, animation cleanup. They're really going big on the animations this year. And then we've got this bit, which is going to be helpful with the tactics, and it talks about zonal defense. When using a depth higher than 45, players will attempt to mark opponents higher up the field and close to the ball possessor, cutting off possible passing lanes. This can open up gaps for the attacking team to exploit if the initial press is broken. But I don't really like... You're saying you can only man mark... You only mark tightly if you're on depth of 45 or higher. Like I didn't really... I was a little bit confused by that, to be honest. When the ball is close to the sideline, the defenders will attempt to close the ball carrier to reduce their near passing support options, which is good. Because how many times do you feel like you're defending on your own? They get the ball out wide, you press with one or maybe two if you've got the teammate contain on. But it's so easy for them to play out. So, yes. This bit left me with more questions as well. Pressure tactics changes. It says, when using pressure tactics such as constant pressure, press out to possession loss, blah, 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 a player's marking tightness will be more varied. So not all players will be tightly marked. The goal for this change is to prevent the flow of the game from completely changing when one user switches to a pressure tactic, allowing the attacking team to make smart passing decisions to break the pressure. I don't really understand what this means, to be honest. If anyone could explain this, that would be helpful. I don't know what they're trying to say here. When using constant pressure, for example, a player's marking tightness will be more varied. So not all players will be tightly marked. But what I don't know what that means. I'm a little bit confused. So if anyone can explain that to me, that would really help. Because I didn't really get what they were trying to say. They're kind of mixing press with marking, and that's not it. Like they're not intertwined. Do you know what I mean? As I spoke about in that recent video where I spoke about, I went into like suggestions for tactics features. I spoke about how it would be good to have a zonal orientated press and a man orientated press, but obviously they've not done that. So there you go. Yeah, goalkeeper, new push deflects, tip overs. Nothing about the custom tactics. Player switching, we've now got it where basically how heavy you use the right stick will dictate who you switch to. So if you do it for longer, it will switch to a player further away. I don't really use right stick switching, to be honest. In fact, I don't actually use the next player switch indicator, I don't think, anymore. I just switch it back to the original because it never really works how I want it to. So yeah, defending, not a whole lot, and that really, really annoys me, because ultimately that is the area. If you ask me the one area of FIFA gameplay that you think you want the most improvements to, it is defending all the way. Even the skatiness and that sort of thing and the arcadiness, defending is number one for me. That needs to be addressed. The fact that your players don't mark runners, your defensive midfielders will just let them coast into the box free. The fact that it feels like you're kind of defending on your own. Yes, you can use the teammate contain, but even that is very limited, even compared to, say, the teammate pressure that you have in PES, which is a much better feature. And the fact that it is designed to open up space so that the opposition can score goals, really. So I think the defending is just, you know, the number one requirement. The number one requirement for this game. And the fact that we've not got many suggestions just annoys me. Just annoys me, to be honest with you. Let's have a look at this poll. Very split. How optimistic are you after today's deep dive? Very 25, slightly 27, unsure 19, not at all 30. So there you go. Let's have a look at the chat. They only added like 4 new features. This new FIFA isn't hard as the last one, which means I wouldn't be surprised if not many people buy the game. Ugh. Ryan, welcome in, mate. No bullshit assessment. I trust you. You think it'd be worth for... Do I think it'd be worth it? I don't know. I really hope I get access to the beta, because then I can give everyone a you know, a true to life kind of request, really. My chat wasn't working for a minute, I don't think, so I've missed a couple of thingy bobs. I'd like to see team press work immediately and not after a 2-second delay. Also, second man press should just make the defender run into the player rather than try to contain him. Yeah, exactly. Like, second man press needs to be an actual press, not just come towards him and then just jockey. So yeah, exactly. I think it's saying the ones near the ball would be tightly marked. Right, okay. So not all players will be tightly marked. The goal for this change to prevent the flow of the game from completely changing when one user switches to pressure tactic. There you go. But yeah, like as I was saying, like defending needs to be the #1 feature to be improved in this gameplay for me. Like, even looking down it, like I was looking at some of the comments earlier. This one, like hoping up to help to add stat tracking to the game too. I'd love to see which clubs players previously had and their goals. Like, stat tracking, like, if I had a suggestion, that would be like 100 on the list. Like, yeah, that would be nice, but there's far bigger things, and like stats and stuff. Like, you don't want to go through stats on the game. You really don't. Like, even I'm a huge Football Manager player, but even I barely use a data hub unless it's going completely wrong. I don't use a data hub. You know, it doesn't interest me. You know, I haven't looked down here. Add something like off the ball formation of the team with the ball formation, like coaches tend to do in real life. Right back playing a centre back. Yes, this is better. Fluid formations. Precisely. More emphasis on formations and fluid formations. Again, yes, please. You can make it in the game. These are ultra defensive tactical styles. You can swap through them in the game. Well, he's wrong because I'll have to say this. I'll have to get back to him, unfortunately, guys, before we continue. Unfortunately, not these. We're back. We are back. Yeah. So, across the pitch, whole lot of nothing. Whole lot of fluff, really. Yeah. I'm trying to run out of things to say, really, because it just truly annoys me. Defending's like so low. Yeah. So all this stuff, as I've alluded to, outside, with free kicks, added the ability to perform an outside the foot lob pass. When do you see someone do an outside the foot lob pass? You don't. On free kicks, I mean, you just rarely see that. The 1 in 100,000. Competitive master switch, I don't use, but they've now made it mandatory in clubs, in online seasons, all that stuff. Tweak the referee strictness. One thing down here, yes, we've made several improvements to the strategies and decision making of the CPU AI during the game to further strive for authentic gameplay across all difficulty levels. And as I'm alluding to, that sounds great and something I want desperately, but until we see it in action, I don't believe it, simply. So yeah. Added new stats seen in broadcast such as win probability prediction, contested possession, ball recovery time and line breaks. Yeah, that's cool, that's fine, not something I was asking for, not really bothered about it. But yeah, fine, whatever. Having low level teams not play like Barca would be nice, yes. Joe says, we've sim match already in the game, it would be nice if they added more player instructions or fluid formations. Yeah, exactly. That's the sort of thing we are looking for, really. So yeah. Additional changes, stuff to the practice arena that no one's going to use. Again, like with the arena, something that I mentioned in one of my retro FIFA videos, why don't they still have it where you come into the arena first? Otherwise, it's just a feature no one's going to use. Don't bury it. People love that. So yeah, it's pointless now. Skill games, don't do them. Rework career mode skill games to make them more challenging and engaging to fit the new training system. Well, we'll soon see about that. And that's all it is. So all in all, I try not to be too negative in these things, really, because I just want to be positive. I don't want to be one of these features. I know it's very popular to bash EA, and rightfully so, and I've done plenty of that. But I just come out of these being so underwhelmed. There was one gameplay trailer, probably was it FIFA 20, FIFA 21 maybe, or FIFA 22, where they went really hard on the defending. They talked about zonal marking, how the shape of your team shifts when it gets switched and stuff. And I was like, yeah, I feel more positive. And I felt good about that. But I just thought, it's just always flat now. It's always flat. I come out of here, I'm not... A lot of this stuff we just didn't ask for, And Hypermotion has just been a huge, underwhelming. It's not been the Lord and Saviour that they've made it out to be. It really hasn't. As I've already said, mentioned it many times, like a broken record now. Defending is just, it's just getting left by the wayside. This is the smallest that they've got, other than the additional changes, which obviously is just a whole lot of nothing in itself. So not much improvement to defending. We've got nothing about custom tactics, almost nothing. You're just going to keep it the same, I had a whole video covering new features. They've mentioned nothing about whether they're going to work this year, as I've already spoken about. Sweeper keeper doesn't work. Joining attack for centre backs doesn't work. Man mark for defensive midfielders doesn't work. So many things don't work. Inverted fullbacks, we can't get a legitimate inverted fullback. These are the base things come from base gameplay, not do an outside of the foot lob pass from a free kick. Okay? So, and all these skill moves, wherever they are, that no one asked for. Other than a few Ultimate Team players, I'm sure, asked for it. So yeah, I just can't have it, because it's getting to the point now, and I know people will say, it's just a game, don't get rattled about it, and that is true. At the end of the day, I've spent 6 years on this channel now, and I put a lot of work into it. And building, a small community of you guys. And it's getting to the point now where, like, it's my job, and I don't want to play the game. Like, I just don't enjoy it. Like, in the video that's coming out tomorrow on FIFA 14, I spoke about how I've just enjoyed playing that, and I've played many games on it, and I want to play that. In FIFA 23, I have no urge whatsoever. And it's just like, it starts to make me think, do I want to continue doing this? Like FIFA on YouTube, really? Because if the gameplay isn't enjoyable, I just won't play it. Simple as. It's why, like career mode series this year were. Did I do one? Was Chelsea this year? Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Because I did the part 1. Like I finished that, but it took us so much effort. I just didn't really want to do it. And so yeah, literally. Marcus, welcome in, mate. It's good to have you along again. Be interesting to see the deep dive of career mode. Yeah, we don't know when that is yet. I'll have a quick look on their YouTube because they scheduled this for a few days before. But at this moment in time, we don't know when that is coming. If we go on the features list, it still won't be there. So, yeah, they said it's in July. So whether it'll be in a week or two, or like next week maybe, I'd have thought. But yeah, so yeah, ultimately it's just making me start to think like it's make or break now, because I don't want to keep doing videos on a game that I don't enjoy. Simple as. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why I've stopped doing so many I'm not doing tactics videos until eafc 24, because other than for Patreon, obviously, because you have to play so much of the game, obviously testing the tactic out, and then you play to record the tactic. It's not fun, just not fun. Other than a couple of tactics to work out really well, but even in the gameplay, you're just competing against it. So Stream Football Manager is fairly complex. Yeah, obviously, like Football Manager, I think that's the direction I'm going to go. I'm going to really go more into that this year. I wish I did last season, to be honest. I did a bit of Roma, but then I got sacked in that Roma series and kind of bailed after that as a result. But I'd like to go into it more this year now, and I'd like to probably live stream Football Manager as well, because I think that'd be a good one to do. So yeah, I think that'll be the direction we go if the gameplay is really unenjoyable. Because obviously as well, I don't have an alternative. I'm not playing eFootball. There's nothing to play in eFootball anyway until there's a Master League. So yeah, yeah. So yeah, what do you guys think? How are you feeling? Let me know in the chat. Having a look at this vote here. 90 votes now. It's very, very split. How optimistic are you? 27% not at all, 18% unsure, and then 28% for very and slightly. So yeah. Is there anything else we want to talk about? I feel like there was something else I wanted to mention, and I can't remember what it was now. It might have been something from the trailer, from the deep dive. I can't believe it was only 7 minutes long. This is another thing why I scheduled it for 7:30 this stream rather than like 6:30 or 7, because I thought, oh, it might be like a good 30-40 minutes long and you'll have to have a lot to digest and stuff and go through. But it was 7 minutes, 7.5 minutes. It's just crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So yeah, one of them. Anything else? No, I don't think so. Really? Again, yeah, as I say, defending been left by the wayside a little bit. Custom tactics, no idea. Your guess is as good as mine. You know, a lot of nothing. Not interested in new skill moves. There's a couple of positives, as I said, but obviously we don't have any evidence of them. Like when they spoke about the CPU AI getting improvements. Yes, that's good, but where is the evidence of that? Some cool little tweaks like the ad board collisions. That's a nice aesthetic change. Players will now play new animations when unable to stop before colliding with ad boards. they'll collide with the ad boards. Oh, yeah, that's cool. It's cool. New animations for players avoiding each other to provide more coverage. All cool. Upper body injury animations. Attacking player appeals. Attacking players will now appeal to the referee when a ball is cleared off the goal line. Yeah, that's a nice touch. That's cool. No problem at all with that. But it's just not the. It's not what the big things, is it? And that's what really gets to me. Why don't they add VAR? Yeah, that would be cool, but then they need to get the decisions right first and foremost. I've tweeted things in the past where a player's been offside. I've conceded a goal that has actually legitimately been offside, and it's just not counted it. What's your best FIFA 23 tactic you've made? I can't remember what's top of the tactics board now. Whatever's top of the tactics package. It's one of the exciting ones. Yeah, go and check it out. Have they mentioned goalkeepers? They should use a hypermotion scan goalies from different ability ranges. Yeah, well, they spoke about goalkeeping here and talked about how they've got this push deflect animation. When a goalkeeper cannot catch the ball, they will now attempt to push a shot deflection into safe areas, tip overs, animation refresh, saves with feet, diving saves, that sort of stuff. So yeah, they've done a little bit to that for sure. Like I say, no improvements to the sweeper keeper instruction. So yeah, it's very annoying. Other than that, that might be it, unless you guys have anything else I want to talk about. You'd like to hear me talk about? Going through here. Gonna wait and see on other deep dives. Really like to change a lot about career mode and give us more to play around with it. Yeah. I don't know if you guys saw, but I tweeted earlier about, you know what? In fact, I was reading an article on The Athletic. They got a first look into the game in general, and part of that was career mode. And one new feature is you will now receive scouting reports ahead of each fixture to reveal information about your next opponent. For example, if facing a team who concede lots of goals from corners, you can carry out training exercises to have one of your players temporarily adopt a dead ball specialist playstyle to make better use of set pieces for that match. So that's a nice positive change. In fact, let's just go and have a look at that article. I wonder if I can find it. Let me just search eafc, see if it's on there. No. Ah, here we go. Right, so if we go down to the career mode section, they should add players arrest mode. Oh god, no thank you. Yeah, so they said career mode has had a football manager-like revamp. There will be 7 tactical approaches to choose from as you shape how you want. Sorry, I'll zoom in a bit more because you guys might not be able to see that very well. Yeah, career mode has had a football manager-like revamp. There will be 7 tactical approaches to choose from as you shape how you want your team to play. For example, gegenpress or tiki-taka. The assistants you hire will be driven by 2 things. The first is tactics. The second is player development. The best route to success and increased player development is hiring coaches who specialise in your chosen tactical style. So that's actually really good. But the thing is, they talk about tactics. They go hard on tactics here a lot. So I want to know if there have been a lot of changes to custom tactics as a result. But you'd have thought that would have been in the gameplay improvements, because tactics is obviously a part of the gameplay. It's not just career mode. But it wasn't. So we'll see. But that's going to be very interesting. We obviously spoke about how if you pre-order the Ultimate Edition or whatever it is, you get a 5-star coach. In fact, that might be pre-order the main edition. If you just pre-order, you get a 5-star coach. So I'm guessing it's going to be in the realm of how you had the scouts 1 to 5-star, and how good they are is going to depend on how much your player develops, basically. So that sounds good. Nothing on Youth Academy, which is, I mean, if people, if when you ask people like what are your most suggested changes for career mode, I would wager that Youth Academy is probably number 1. but they just won't touch it. They literally won't touch it. But this stuff would be good. Obviously, we need to see in action. We haven't seen much, but they don't go into much detail with it anyway. Having said that, I wouldn't trust this this author a lot, because somewhere it says he writes, or they write, Football Manager does not have the license to use the Premier League in its games. Oh, they've changed it. They've just edited it. So originally it said that it didn't have the license to use a Champions League, which obviously any of you guys who've played Football Manager, or maybe even if you haven't, you'll know that they have the rights to UEFA competitions, the Champions League and such. So clearly they don't play the games and don't know anything about them. So I wouldn't trust too much what they're probably saying, or put too much weight into it anyway. Like maybe there's stuff that they've not mentioned in career mode that are new features. But yeah. So we'll wait and see on the career mode deep dive. With regard to the gameplay, they didn't really give much difference to what we've already seen. Really, they spoke about how the graphics are supposed to be far better, but said that they play on an old TV that is not 4K ready, so probably not noticeable. Probably still playing old gen as well. So yeah, we shall see. Other than that, not a whole lot. Fairly similar to FIFA 23. So yeah, there you go. I played over 20 games of the pre-beta version and found it fairly easy to chip the goalkeepers. After a while, I got a feel for when the keeper would go down to make a save, at which point I would often hold L1 while I shot and dink the ball into an empty net. Oh dear. When the game is released in late September, there will inevitably be more glitches that get exploited by the most avid gamers. Obviously, this is a pre-beta build, so we'll wait and see. When the beta comes out, we'll see how that one goes as well. But yeah, we shall see. I think with that being said, we probably round it off there. Yeah, unless you guys... The Victor, I just came. Are there new things on tactics and instructions? No. No. One thing that they said was new, which isn't new, is how the defensive midfielder, when on drop between the defenders, will split the centre backs, and then the wing backs will push up. But we already had that in the game, so I don't know why they mentioned that as a new feature. But with this change to career mode that they were saying about how tactics mean more than ever, hopefully they're saving the custom tactics to career mode. But I don't know why they do that, because obviously it's not a career mode thing. Rama, are you coming on Pro Club today? Not today. I am going on Modern Warfare 2, because as you guys will have, the proper Modern Warfare 2, the original, the OG, not the fraud, the new one. Because as you guys will have seen, the servers have been rekindled, a lot more players getting on them all. So this morning I had a little bash on COD. And yeah, quality. So I'm going to be going on that and enjoying it. Yeah, other than that, I think we're ready to probably round it off there. Obviously, there's going to be a career mode deep dive at some point. We don't know when it is yet. We just know it's in July, so either this week or next. So when I get news of that, then I will schedule a live stream so that we can react to it and go deep dive on it. And then yeah, we'll really. That's make or break, really. We shall see, guys. I know you're all going to be well into it. So you get into a game by Christmas then. No, it was all right. It was fairly populated, like I say, as people coming back to it. So yeah, get on the old CODs, the proper CODs, not the new terrible ones that they've got out now. With that being said, guys, I think we're ready to round it off there. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming in, chipping in, watching. Really do appreciate it. If you missed any of the stream, I'll update it with chapters tomorrow, so you'll be able to go back and flick to any bits that you need to. With that being said, I think we're going to finish it there. Thank you so much for watching, and until the next one, I shall see you soon. Ta-ra.